Okay, so let's try the halfway method. So basically what that is we're going to draw a center line. That's going to be where our eyes are. And then we're going to draw the bottom of the jaw. And I've got the window open. And then I'm going to make an equal distance from the eyes to the top of the head. And I'm just going to guesstimate the width. Remember, a head is roughly 6.2-ish, 6 point something wide to 10 units tall, something like that. So this will be a pretty thin face. I could make it a little wider, but anyway. And then we will do a center line. Let's do that. So we know the eyes are halfway, sit halfway from the top of the head to the bottom of the head. So this is where our eyes are going to be. And I'll just use my classic two-line eye that I like to do as a placeholder. And then the eyebrows are going to be here. We know the eyes are, we know if we divide the eyebrows to the chin in half, that's where the bottom of the nose is going to be. So to me it looks roughly about here, but I'm going to measure and a little high, maybe right there. Yeah, somewhere in there. Okay, so this is roughly where the bottom of the nose is going to be. I'll do my little M shape that I like to do. I call it an M. Okay, halfway from the bottom of the nose to the chin is about here, and we know the mouth opening is always closer to the nose than it is to the chin, so I just put the mouth opening above that. And so that's the halfway method right there. You find the halfway from the top of the skull to the bottom of the chin. We know the eyes are going to sit on that. Now your eyebrows could be a little higher. Some eyebrows are farther away. You know, Clint Eastwood's eyebrows are almost touching his eyes. I think same with David Beckham. His eyes are really close to his eyebrows. So it just depends on the person. There's the opening. Here's the bottom of the mouth and top lip. But once you know where halfway is, you put in the eyebrows, and then from the eyebrows to the bottom of the chin, you find halfway, and I can measure that again, something like that. Pretty good. Bottom of the nose, then we have the chin. We know the cheeks are the widest part of the face, and we can design our character however we choose, something like that. Okay, and put in the iris. About 25% of the iris is hidden by the top lid, like it, you know, you don't see the whole iris because it sits about like that. Okay, and then we can put in the ear ball. We already did the eye drums. Whoa. There we go. Okay, and then you can just start adding all the details that you want. And we know the same distance from the nose to eyebrows is to the hairline, and the hairline goes up, comes in over the eyes a bit, goes back out, and then comes back in. Comes in, goes out, creates the sideburns, and there. Then we can just create some kind of hairdo here. Okay. That's probably in a bit too far. Okay, give this guy a neck. The big ol' SC, what is it, sternocleidomastoid, so SCM neck muscles. And there we go. So that is how I do the halfway method if I'm interested in thinking about it that way. And what is this, June 3? There we go. So that's how you can do face proportions starting at the halfway point. And that's really helpful sometimes too. It's good to have more than one way to get your face measurements. All right. And we're done. Okay, so I thought I would take this drawing and detail it up a little bit. And I'm going to remove some of the guidelines we had, and we started with this center line, so I'm going to get rid of that. We'll get rid of the hidden portion of the iris. Okay, we don't need center lines anymore. Don't need the bottom of the don't need all these guidelines. And when you think about it, once you've done creating faces long enough, you don't need the guidelines. You can just see them and draw without them. So as a quick example, you know, if I say, okay, well, I'm going to draw an eye here, and I'm going to draw an eye here. Well, I know the eyebrows are going to be here. I don't need any guidelines. I can make the style of the face any style I want using the three areas. So I'm just going to say that the person's nose ends here, like that. And I'll put in the iris. And I'm going to say that they have a small chin area. So from here to here, if I find halfway, I know the mouth is going to be above that. So I'll put the mouth opening here. And put in the bottom lip. Like that. So, and then you can start to craft the eye and make it look realistic-ish. And I didn't need to do any guidelines at all. Okay. And maybe I'll make this like that. Okay, so I was changing my mind as I was drawing it what style of face I wanted to do. I was going to do a wide face at first, but then I decided not to. Let's do that. And then we'll put some ears. And we know from here to here is the same roughly to the hairline. Put in a standard hairline here like this. And then from here, now I need some inspiration for a hairdo. Okay, so I found a hairdo that I think I like. I don't know if I can adapt it, but we're going to find out right now. So we have a hair part, and you can see here the hairline comes in and then it goes back out, just like we have. It comes in and goes back out, and we're going to put this hair behind the ear like she has, and then it comes out and comes in like that. And then she's got it curled like that, so, and then this side flips up, and then it flips over, comes in, goes like that, has another big hoop here, and then all of this here. So we're just building the hairdo here. And something like that. There, that looks good enough, and we can just add in some shadow here, add in some shadow here, and there we go. So we have our 3-area face without any guidelines, because we already know where they are. If we know where the eyebrows are and we know where the bottom of the chin is, or even if we don't know where the bottom of the chin is, we can just make a decision where the nose is and then make a decision where we're going to put the chin. And then if we want to, you know, like I did here, I made this area equal to this area. So once you have that 3-area system in your head, you don't need guidelines anymore. And anyway, we're going to stop there. So and we're done. Okay, so now I'm back to cleaning up this drawing that I did earlier, the halfway method, by starting with the eye line and then putting the eyebrows above, and then from the eyebrows to where we had made our chin line, if we cut that in half, we know that's where the nose is going to be. So anyway, I wanted to take that line out and I put it right back in. So let's take it out. Something like that. Okay, and now we can start rounding things. You know, when I put in placeholders, I often make them very straight line, geometrical, and that just helps me get it done quicker, and I don't have to worry so much about sloppy lines. Okay, bit of a cheekbone, like that. Now, I was looking at comics last night for a long time, trying to find front view face drawings. And I'm going to tell you, the front straight on view of a face in the comics I was looking at, which was a lot of Batman comics, classic Batman from the 70s, issues somewhere around 240 to 320. I looked through all of those online. There is very few times that artists draw the face straight on. So even though it's a really good starting point to learn the proportions of the face and kind of start to build the 3D model in your head, which is where I started, it is not the most used pose in comics, that's for sure. And from the greats like John Buscema, who actually did some pretty cool front face comic book covers. If you remember Enter the Vision, I'm not sure, but I think it's Avengers 65 or something, like 66, 67, somewhere in there. And he did that nice pose of the Vision on the front, which is pretty much straight on. But there is just not a lot of straight on. Now there's lots of cheats where the person's got their head turned to one side a little bit, and we'll talk about those in another video. But straight on, looking straight at you, balanced face, not very often. Just doesn't suit the action for the comics. Okay. And remember, the top of the iris is hidden by the top lid. And we'll create some shadow here. And I'm not doing a lot of shading here. I'm just assuming the light's straight on the face from the viewer's point of view lighting, I guess that's the way we could say. Give some hint of oh my goodness, sideburns. I'm not sure why that didn't come into my head. Okay. Like that. Okay, this is the point where I start to overdo it. So I think I'm going to stop somewhere there. Something's wonky about this eye here. And maybe just take a bit off that here. The other eye is always tricky to do. Okay, let's do the eyebrows. Okay, and we are not done because I felt like I should put in a few more indications of the hair. Up here. And there we go. And that's it.